Hawaii, it is known to be called the apple bananas. And it's not the cross between those two fruits. It gets that name because it's very, very sweet, sometimes tart, so it has a very nice sweet and sour taste to it. Plus, these bananas will only grow half the size of a regular banana. So if you take a look at that purple pod that's hanging below the bananas there, that is the flower, or also known as the heart of the tree. So each time a petal drops, a new hand or a new row of bananas will grow in its place. So the longer that flower is, the more bananas will produce from it. Eventually that flower is going to dry up and then fall to the ground. And once that happens, that is the indication of the banana is ready to be harvested. And after you harvest those bananas, you can actually go ahead and cut that tree down, because these banana trees will only produce one bunch of bananas in its lifetime. So if you take a look at the ground, you're going to see all those stumps that are left behind. Those stumps provide the water and the nutrients for the younger banana trees growing around it. So because of that reason, these banana trees are a self-propagating plant, which means as long as that stump is there, it's going to keep growing and growing and reproducing on its own. So it's kind of similar to weeds. If you wanted to eradicate the whole thing, you'd have to dig out that whole entire root system. So it's basically another fruit for a lifetime, and you will never have to worry about replanting your own banana tree. Now looking at the right hand side, those are the coffee trees, and that is a red Katui variety, which is part of the Arabica family. These coffee trees are going to produce some coffee cherries, and those coffee cherries will go through 4 different stages. It starts off as a green, turns to a yellow, then to a red, then finally brown. When it reaches that brown stage, it's that very dry, over-ripened one. So normally people would pick off the red cherries, and within the red cherries are 2 khaki-colored coffee beans. If you're wondering why it's khaki-colored, that's because it has not been roasted yet. But when you roast coffee beans, it does lose caffeine. So a side note for you folks, the lighter the roast, the more caffeine it has. Vice versa, the darker the roast, the less caffeine it holds. Coming up on the left-hand side, we have our plumeria trees. The Hawaiian word for plumeria is pua melia. These trees start blooming in the springtime, shines best in the summertime. When it comes to winter season, all these trees are going to lose all the leaves and flowers along with it, which is going to make it look like a tree of sticks throughout the whole winter season. It does not like that cold, rainy weather at all. But with the flowers that are blooming from it, it does come in tropical colors such as white, pink, and yellow. These are the second best ranked flowers for lei making. And because plumerias are so iconic here in Hawaii, it does have a meaning when you wear a flower on your ear. It'll signify your marital status. So ladies, whenever you wear a flower on the right hand side of your ear, that means you're single and ready to mingle. Whenever you wear a flower on the left-hand side of your ear, that means you're taken, married, or even balled up and chained. But if you wear a flower on both sides of your ear, that still means you're taken, but you're also looking for that upgrade. So gentlemen, don't forget to compliment your ladies every so often. Now looking at the left-hand side of these green arrowhead-shaped leaves, this is the taro plant. The Hawaiian name for taro is kalo. Taro is an extremely important integral part of the Hawaiian culture. In Hawaiian mythology, Wakea, the god of the sky, and goddess Ho'ohokalani had a stillborn child named Taloa. They buried that stillborn child into the ground, and from the ground grew the first taro plant. Now in the past, taro covered about 35,000 acres of land here in Hawaii. But today in our present time, it only covers about 350 acres of land. The Hawaiians would dig out the root, clean it, and eat it as is. But what we also do is dig out the root, clean it, and pound it into the traditional dish called poi. And poi is a purple pudding-like substance that's thick in consistency and is still enjoyed today by many, especially at the luau's. About 6.5 million pounds of poi are consumed each year by locals and visitors Hawaii. And looking at the the left-hand side of those beautiful mountains there, also known as the West Maui Mountains. The true name for these mountains is called Mauna Kahalavai. This is just one big mountain with many valleys and ridges in between. That is why Maui is nicknamed the Valley Isle. The highest peak of that mountain is called Pu'ukukui. And Pu'ukukui is the 9th wettest spot in the world and also the 2nd wettest spot in the state. It receives about 400 inches of rainfall every year. And the waters from the top of that mountain will divert into 4 main streams called Nevai Eha, which means the 4 great waters. And those streams will help provide water throughout various parts of the community down here, and also here on the plantation in Waikapu. Now we grow about 4 different types. Coming around next, we're coming up through the avocado trees. We grow about 4 different types of avocado trees here on the plantation. We have the Haas, the Sherwood, the Green Gold, and the Hulamanu variety. Avocados are known to be superfruits as well because they're very rich in protein and in potassium. It actually has 60% more potassium than bananas, and it also helps lower your blood cholesterol. Coming up next, we're making our way to the mango trees. Mango season typically starts in May and ends in late August, but because they're so tropical here in Hawaii, mango season happens to be twice a year, starting in the springtime. We also grow the Hayden variety mangoes, and the Hayden variety are known to be the best kind. They are known to be more meaty, more juicy, and less stringy than all the other types of mangoes, which makes it my personal favorite. The average size of those mangoes can also grow to be the size of your face sometimes, but the usual growth is the size of a softball. And as we exit those mango trees, looking at the right-hand side to what looks like tall, overgrown grass, that is our newly planted sugarcane. The Hawaiian name for sugarcane is called ko, spelled as in K-O. It takes 2 years for sugarcane to mature, and by the time of harvest, the sugarcane is the stalks are about 15 feet tall. The Hawaiians in the past would plant the sugarcane around their huts to be used as windbreakers. And when they would low on energy, they would chew and suck on the stalks, and the fibers that they couldn't swallow were eventually used as toothbrushes. We can credit Hawaii's ethnic diversity to the sugarcane industry as it brought many immigrants from different backgrounds to Hawaii to work in the fields.